I connected my Flodesk account to Claude and it showed me the truth about my email metrics that I had no idea about. There was no spreadsheet, no code. 90 seconds later, I had a dashboard that actually tells me what my numbers mean in plain English. And it caught a metric that had been actually lying to me for months. It completely changed which emails I'm going to send and on what days. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build something like this. You'll be able to connect your Flodesk connector to either Claude or ChatGPT when it comes out. So full disclosure, I have got early access to this so that I can have a play. Let's jump in and I'll show you how to use it yourself. So first, we want to jump over here to customize and then connectors. And so I have the Flodesk connector set up here and it's currently got access to all of these read-only tools. So when you get access to it, you'll just be able to come over here, hit browse connectors and type Flodesk, sign into Flodesk, and it's done. Now, once we've got this connected, what's really cool is we can jump into the chat here and say to Claude, hey Claude, can you please let me know in plain English what tools you have available with your Flodesk connector and like what can we do with this stuff? And so it's just going to tell us like what it can do, and you will be able to figure out exactly how to use Claude and the Flodesk connector by asking it. So within a few seconds, it's come back with this. So it can get my account profile. It gives me a quick overview. It tells me the subscribers and list health here. It can rank segments, so tell you about what segments you've got and which are the biggest. And then obviously super important, email performance. So get email totals, trends, so how those rates have moved over time. Is your open rate climbing or is it tanking? Funnels and automation. So which sign up forms convert the best, which is incredible to know. Maybe I should be pushing that lead magnet because you know with this data that it's performing well. And also if you have Flodesk checkout connected, it can also tell you about your revenue, which if you look at the data as a whole, so which emails did people get sent and did that convert into a checkout purchase? This is so helpful because it helps you determine what to do next based on what has previously worked. Now let's jump into our dashboard that I've created over here. And so I have basically just created this HTML dashboard, and this is just an artifact in Claude. And so what it has done, it's pulled my subscribers. I've got an average open rate of 47.7, which is actually pretty high in my niche, which is awesome. And then it's also how many campaigns have I sent, and also my unsubscribes, which are sitting pretty high at the moment because I've had a few viral videos which people sign up for lead magnets and then bounce, which is fine. But what this data has shown me is something that is so important, and I would have missed this if I didn't have the connector connected to Claude to help me interpret this. So let's have a look at it now. Basically, what this data is telling me is that my open rates are not accurate, which what I mean by that is if I was looking at just open rates in general, and some of these are like 100% open rate, it doesn't tell me the full picture, because if I have an email that's sent to 10 people with an open rate of 100, that's not the same as sending one to 6,000 people. So it has basically sorted these out. So if I just look at trends, if I just want to look at something that has a minimum send of 1,000, it's going to pull that out for me and say, based on that number as like the bottom line, these are the ones that have performed well. It's also given me the click rate here. And so what this has told me too is that when I send emails about YouTube videos that I've posted, these go really well. So that's what I'm going to send more of. And then also here, it's giving me a breakdown in plain English. So if you're like me and data interpretation doesn't come that naturally to you, this is so helpful. So it's basically said here, with a floor of 1,000 as your send floor, which just means that's the minimum that we're going to look at. There are 9 campaigns that drop out, meaning they were a small segment, or they were like a send confirmation. Someone booked in for one of my workshops or consulting, and so they're obviously going to get higher rates. And then it's pulled this out. So among your real newsletter sends, the best open rate is the plugin almost 1 million people have downloaded. And again, this is just blowing my mind. This is pulling the open rates based on the days. So Friday is doing really, really well. But interestingly, I've only sent this many on Friday versus like Thursday and Wednesday, I'm obviously sending the most emails. And so again, breaking it down in natural language for me. So Thursdays and Wednesdays are dependable windows. So I've got a 54% open rate there. But Friday spikes to 70% with the strongest clicks of the week, but only 422 sends. So it's basically saying like you need to test this more to see if like Friday is actually the winner. Sunday gets the most volume, but it has my lowest open rate, which means that I'm sending more on Sundays but people aren't opening them on Sundays. So I may be oversending into a quiet day. Again, I have no idea about any of this. And because I can just ask Claude, it's so helpful. Now, if you want the prompt, you can steal it here. It's basically just asking Claude to connect to Flodesk, audit my list, and pull the last 20 email campaigns with their sends and open rates, and also ignore like specific open rates that are ranked as a winner if they have small sends, and find the patterns in the best subject lines, etc. And so let's get into that now, because that is something that is also super helpful. So over here on this dashboard, we can ask it to give me 3 subject lines in my voice, and I can just hit ask Claude here and it's gonna give me these, and it's based on my actual data. It has determined, based on the emails that have performed well previously, here are 3 recreated in your voice. So the AI tool I've been hiding from you, you're probably using ChatGPT backwards, or the $0 thing that's replacing my $300 tool. And because what it picked up here too was my subject lines that have all lowercase and no height punctuation, the ones that are doing the best. And so now I can just jump over here into Claude as well and ask it some more questions about my data. So let's just ask about like my segments now. Hey Claude, based on my segments, which ones are performing the best? And so what I want you to do too is anything that's tagged as like a purchase. I have a couple of segments that have purchase in it. Can you like pull up or any trends about this? Who has got tagged as a purchaser? And so the reason I'm asking this is because I obviously have like a school community. So that isn't tagged in, like that's not a checkout purchase in Flodesk, but I still tag them as purchases. So it's going to now have a look at my segments here and pull out some trends that maybe I have no idea about. Again, I don't always look at my metrics, or I don't like download the spreadsheets. So now that I can just open Claude and just be like, hey, tell me what's going on, is like so helpful. And now it helps me actually have a bit more of a strategy when it comes to my emails. And a couple of seconds later, and it is telling me my best performing segments here. So the standouts by engagement are those who are interested in my membership or interested in my offers, basically. So they're my warm leads. And then over here, it's pulled these 3 purchaser segments. And it's also said that like my buyers stay engaged post-purchase, which is really important to know. And also tells me like maybe I am giving value on my emails. They're not just like purchasing and then bouncing, which is a good metric to know. And to take this even further, what you could do is connect your Stripe MCP to this, and it would pull those purchase times and then map that to the Flodesk segments as well, which is just wild that we have this available to us now. So having Claude analyze your email data in Flodesk is incredible. And this connection takes like 30 seconds. And if you want to build a dashboard like this, I will drop the prompt below as well. And if you want to try their Flodesk MCP when it drops, jump on the waitlist. I'll drop my Flodesk link below. So you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next one.